So may I ask, first of all the panelists to come to the stage? Sit down. Yeah, 1 second. I think we're still waiting for Kevin. Yeah, so maybe we can already get started. Take a seat. Might still take some time. Good morning, everyone. My name is Norbert, Clemens, and it's a true pleasure to welcome you to our panel discussion here at the World Summit AI. We're gathered here today actually because we're all passionate about the transformative potential of AI, and you all know since November 2022, when ChatGPT made its debut, we've witnessed AI development accelerate really at an unprecedented pace. And this wasn't just a technological milestone. And you all know that was really a cultural shift that brought AI into the homes of millions of people. And since then, I mean, companies like NVIDIA have experienced remarkable growth. The company, as you know, is often seen as a proxy for the AI industry, and surpassed $3 billion of market valuation in June this year, which made it the most valuable company in the world, at least for some time. And this surge underscores the massive investments as well and high expectations placed on AI to drive future innovation across industry. So, however, with this rapid advancement comes also a fair share of challenges and concerns. So, recent setbacks in the tech stocks, not only NVIDIA, have prompted questions about whether we're in the midst of an AI hype cycle. And additionally, you might have heard that also a couple of times. Studies indicate that around 70% of digital transformation, where AI is often at the core, fail to achieve their intended outcomes. And this is really a stark reminder of all those complexities involved in integrated AI into business, and the difficulties companies have to really realize this promised value. So that brings us now, and I will just a sec. So that brings us also to the heart of our discussion today, which is beyond the hype steering through the AI ecosystem to ensure best value for business. Essentially, we want to cut through the noise and understand really how to make AI work and how to deliver a real value. So given the breadth of this topic, we'll try to break down the topic into 3 interconnected sections and explore them with a couple of questions. So the first one is actually the big picture. What kind of value can you expect from AI in your company, and which use cases should you focus on? The second one is about the delivery capabilities, basically what's needed to successfully deliver AI solutions and use cases. And the third is about change management. How do you take the organization with you, drive adoption, scale up, capture the value, and really deliver the promised value? And culture is obviously part of that discussion. So it's a very exciting topic, and I'm even more thrilled to discuss this with this esteemed group of panelists. Let me take some time to introduce each and every one of them. So first, we're honored to have Dr. Reema Diab with us. Reema is founder, CEO of Galaxy for Technology, and currently holds the position of AI and a big data consultant with Tesla. She's on a mission truly to help organizations improve business performance, use data more intelligently, understand the implications of technologies such as AI, big data, blockchain, and IoT. And she's a serial entrepreneur, executive chairperson, social entrepreneur, justice advocate with 10 years of leadership experience in AI, entrepreneurship, business development, and social impact. I'm sure her multifaceted experience will offer us deep insights and leverage AI for both business success and social impact. So please welcome Reema.
Thank you.
Joining us as well, we have Dr. Kevin Jones, Director of the Center for Teaching and Learning and Associate Professor of Management at Indiana University, Columbus. He leverages 30 years of leadership to identify key organizational and organizational individual competences for AI transformation. So he's also co-leading the university's generative AI task force, which demonstrates also the ability to cultivate these capacities in complex institutions. So I'm sure having his hands-on experience with the advanced training, he'll offer also unique experiences into developing this human and organizational capabilities needed to drive AI value. Please welcome Kevin. So then we have Caitlin Begg. She's a sociological researcher and founder of Authentic Social. She's also a host of the Progression to Analog podcast, also international keynote speaker, and she explores the impact of digital technologies on everyday life and work. She also draws on more than 8 years of experience since her Harvard thesis on digital communication. And I'm sure the specialization of designing socio-technical future will help us also to understand this topic better. Thanks for being here with us, and please welcome Caitlin.
Thank you.
So finally, we have Gregory Verlinden on the panel. He's Vice President of Analytics and AI with Cognizant. He's a seasoned digital leader who has orchestrated innovation transformation programs, steering organizations through the dynamic landscape of data, analytics, and AI. He's also passionate for building lasting client relationships, maximizing opportunities, staying ahead of market trends. True subject matter expert for transforming data into innovative solutions, and I'm sure, Gregory, you bring a unique blend of strategic acumen, strong technical capabilities, and a laser focus on results to the discussion. Please welcome Gregory. So it's truly exciting topic, so without further ado, let's dive into the first segment, the big picture, and to kick things off. The first question to the panel. So, as a company trying to generate value through AI, how can we cut through the noise? How can we differentiate between AI hype and genuine opportunities? So, Reema, what's your view on this?
Okay, first of all, hi everyone, and thanks for having me. It's my first time in Amsterdam. So nice to be with all this amazing audience. Great question to start, actually. To be honest with you, I will start with a statistic. Statistics make that 40% from the World Economic Forum, and based on the McKinsey report, 40% of the work it will be automated by 2025. And I think this is how we can start with. Galaxy organization, it's a non-profit organization that work on social impact for AI. That's why we started to empower women and youth through using technology, making for them economic, financially independence, and the other things that we have done for them, that how to make them to leverage AI for better lives. So how we start this kind of cycle, it's our mission on the ground. So we started with refugees camps. As you know, Jordan is hosting the highest percentage of Syrian refugees. And these kind of refugees, to be honest with you, they are not having this kind of access for technology, even the basic technology, like the computer labs and other things. So my mission was how to communicate with stakeholders to bring the internet for them, to make computers labs inside the camps, and how to empower these kind of people with the basic knowledge of computer essential. So we make some digital literacy training for them. Then after, we make the advanced training in AI. This is the first thing. The other thing that we have done for them, how to empower them in economic and how to make these kind of women to work more in the force of AI, and how to use the most application in the social media to make their kind of home-based business align with AI. The other thing that we make it sure that how to collaborate with all the ecosystem inside Amman or inside Jordan and outside the MENA region, and to collaborate with the World Economic Forum, with the World Bank, and our ministry and government inside Jordan to make it easier for them to access for the AI and to make some customized solution with AI. Once we have done this kind of empowering women and empowering the next generation with AI, we can make it more impactful for the society and for the economic wise.
Okay. On this question, maybe additional remarks from the panel. Yeah. So, what do you think? Maybe Caitlin.
Yeah.
Difference between AI hype and genuine opportunities. What's the value?
Great. First of all, hi everyone. So great to be in Amsterdam from New York. I love spending a lot of time here. Have some family out in Apeldoorn that I was with this weekend. But in terms of going beyond the hype for AI, it's an interesting consideration, right? So Reema spoke about something important about digital literacy training, and that's very important. But if we're looking on a really tactical level of how can we move beyond the hype in AI, there's two things. First, what do your people actually want? Employees in the organization, what do they actually want to change in the organization, and how can AI actually do that? And also, what does your business actually need? Looking at that from a qualitative standpoint is very important, because if you can figure that out before you think about AI, then if you have those outcomes written down, then you can get to how AI can help you, and you can move beyond the hype and not really decide what types of AI implementations your company is going to do based off of advertisements or based off of what competitors are doing. It's what's best for you and what's best within the ecosystem or the macro environment and the micro environment.
Yeah, thank you. I like that. Starting with the business problem and then basically making your way through. Yeah, so it's a good transfer to the next question, which is basically how to set the right focus. How can businesses identify the AI applications that are most relevant to their industry or business model? How can businesses balance short-term gains and long-term strategic investments? And I would like to address this one to Kevin.
Thank you for asking, Norbert. And I think it's the right question at the right time, because we just as Cognizant have finished our survey where we have interviewed more than 2,000 people, our customers, in 15 markets and more than 21 industries. And there we come to some great conclusions. Where are we now with the generative AI movement? And certainly, Kaylin, I like your statement. Is the fact that we need to do it also for a reason. There is a belief in the companies, even on board level, that we need to do it and get it on the move. Now, 70% of the people are concerned that we're not going fast enough. So that is, I think, also a fundamental research question. Why are we not going fast enough into our enterprise? When we see it, I think, if you look from a use case perspective, the three main categories is the first, the incremental or the insane focus on productivity and trying to find productivity gains. The second one is all about innovation, driving faster innovation with the use of AI. And the third is really start thinking about how does our new type of business operating models need to look like. And let's also be honest, let's not overhype it, and let's put the hype into a perspective. And so what we're also seeing is that we've done together with Oxford University, we have analyzed 18,000 tasks in relationship with 1,000 jobs. Because at the end, AI, Gen AI is there to augment the human mankind in doing a better job, bring more value perspective into play. And so what we have done there is as if you look to generative AI, you really need to look it into an 8-year perspective. And so what we have done, we have analyzed each job and look what the potential impact of AI could be on that job. Because a job consists out of 15, 20 tasks, and in each task category level, you could look about how much impact that you can create. Yeah? And we call it the exposure level. We even worked together with the University of Oxford and made some scientific calculations behind it, yeah, to prove it. But what you see there is that maybe the immediate gain to bring to a persona within your business context can be 15%, but the long-term gain can be 80%, like a content designer job. Sorry to say, but in 8 years' time, 80% of what is currently done within the job can be replaced by the use of AI and generative AI. But there is a precondition on technology being available in our organization. Yeah, also getting it in a perspective.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you so much, Gregory. Any additional thoughts from the panelists?
Yeah, let me add, and that you made some very good points, and this is something for you to keep in mind when we talk about integrating AI into the organization. First, there are no true benchmarks, okay? When we start looking around and saying, okay, we'll do it like this company, or we'll do it like this company, yeah, that's suspicious at best because they are trying to figure it out as well. And then the other thing to keep in mind with this is it is a bit of experimentation. You have to try some things to see what works. And sometimes we feel in business, we don't want to experiment because it's too risky. But we also know that if we don't take any risk, we never progress. So I think that we really and truly are in a dynamic time where business can create new pathways. And then maybe down the road, we will be able to see, oh, this is the best way to do it, or this is the best way to do it. But let me tell you something, that we won't get to that either because the technology is going to be changing as well.
Thanks a lot, Kevin, for this additional perspective. Let's move on to the second segment, which is about the delivery capabilities. So how do you make sure and how do you need to organize yourself to be able to successfully deliver the AI solutions? And again, I think that's also based on your background, Kevin, a good question maybe for you to start off with.
Yeah. Let me give you a little bit of a framework, okay? It's like this, college professor, always got a framework, right? So, think leadership. All right, it all starts with leadership. Now, leadership must set the vision, right? Must align the business with AI and must effectively communicate. You see, there's something else to say about leadership as we try to organize ourselves to integrate AI and to maximize the potential of AI. Leadership has to be fully engaged with the technology. You can't be one that says, I'll delegate the knowledge of this to someone else. No, you as a leader have to, okay, you don't have to be the worldwide expert, but you really have to be operationally capable to be able to describe it for people, to make the case, this is why we're doing this. This is the perceived value. And oh, by the way, as a leader, you have to listen as well, because it is not a one-person decision in this direction. It is a collaboration. It is finding how we all can think about this, but the leader can bring us all together to get to that desired end. Now, people. It sounds pretty obvious, right? For us to progress with AI, we cannot forget people. Now, people are given the dystopian things. Oh, AI is going to eliminate all people. Okay, well, maybe when superintelligence gets here, yeah, that's true. But does anybody know when superintelligence is coming?
No.
Thank you. So, in the meantime, we are still the most valuable asset. okay? Because we make the decision on what to do with the AI. So that's how we engage people with the tool. We identify what are the ways that this can maximize our performance. These are the ways that it can support our productivity. These are the ways that, yes, perhaps it can reduce some of the work that we are doing. Instead of what people are going to naturally do, they're going to say, oh, this is going to replace me. And it is true. There's going to be some changes. There will be changes. But at the same time, we want to give people that opportunity to see the benefits and possibilities. And that goes back to leadership. If you do not have a positive way of describing this for your people, I got bad news. It's not going to work. So if you can find a way as a leader to communicate with people how to make this work and then engage people to make it work, I tell you, we can do this well. And then one last point, and that's it for this. I'm going to read this one so I don't talk too long. see, if I just talk, I'll talk all day. You know how professors are. We got all kinds of stuff to say. So keep this in mind, is that in this stage of the game, we cannot try to do everything in our own company by ourselves. We should seek others to help, whether it is academic partners, whether it is consultants, whether it is other organizations that are doing the same thing. Let's learn from each other and let's work with each other because we're all trying to get better at this dynamic thing. So reach out into the ecosystem and find partners to support your work.
Definitely.
Thank you so much, Kevin. So I hear leadership, people, partnerships. Anything else like the other panelists would like to add?
Well, maybe if I may, Norbert, is that I think when we again did that study, one of the reasons why we are not going fast enough is the lack of trust. The lack of trust meaning people are concerned about their security, about the data privacy. People are also maybe still scared about, hey, that new technology, is that already mature enough? Now, if we talk about trust, I can do whatever I want with technology, but if it's not used by the human being, it will not create value for the enterprise. So we also see within Cognizant is that more than ever, we need to play better as a soccer team in a multidisciplinary approach. It's not only the AI and engineering skills that will bring the value on the table. It's also the human science elements more than ever, which is popping up, which is crucial. So we need to bring design and strategy, AI and engineering, and do not forget compliance and ethics, all in the gameplay very early when we see the ID till the moment that indeed we bring it into a production perspective.
Yes.
Okay, so I hear out a lot also around the operating model, basically, like how you work together. Compliance, you mentioned, risk management, and I guess also data technology as key delivery capabilities. I think you would need to bring together. That brings us to the last segment, and the let's say the sequence should not say anything about the priority. The last segment is change management. So how can businesses foster a culture of innovation and continuous learning to support AI adoption and growth? And this question I would like to pose to Caitlin.
Sure. So AI adoption and growth is tricky, right? BCG had a study in January 2024 that found that only 6% of companies have meaningfully upskilled leveraging AI so far. That number seems really low, but when we think about it, that's because most companies do not take a socio-technical approach to AI adoption. And a socio-technical approach is very important when you're trying to make AI-driven change sticky. Now, what socio-technical means is it's the joint optimization of people and technology. It's making sure that AI-driven change is not just technical. It's not just a technological change. AI is a paradigm shift with the way that we're viewing work, the way that we're viewing each other, the way that we are living our everyday lives. And that socio-technical approach is really intertwined with the idea of education and situated learning. And so when companies are trying to decide how can we make this AI-driven change sticky, if everyone in the audience can come away with one thing from this, It's about situated learning. It's about making sure that when you are trying to make sure that your employees understand what AI-driven change is like, that there's a qualitative data perspective, you understand what they want, what the organization wants, and then you really apply the learning in everyday real outcomes. And then it's not just one theoretical workshop and then you close the book. AI is something that's a complex process that's constantly evolving. There's constantly new things coming out. So having an everyday learning approach is incredibly important when we think about all of this.
Okay, interesting. So anything to add? I mean, on culture, but also what maybe what else is important regarding change management besides culture?
Yeah, one of the things that I think about as well is 78% of employees, as of a Microsoft and LinkedIn recent workforce report, are bringing their own AI to work. So whether we like it or not, employees are bringing their own AI to work, and we can choose whether to have that leveraging AI move in the direction that the company wants or move it in an opposite direction. So really engaging stakeholders at every level is a really important and integral part of socio-technical design and socio-technical AI adoption. It's making sure that there's buy-in on the executive level and that we understand AI from a micro and a macro perspective. If executives do not understand how to leverage AI in their everyday personal life, that can make buying decisions difficult. That can make operational and implementation decisions difficult. So making sure that we understand where are we leveraging this. And also, from a sociological perspective, if we are freeing up some time in everyday life and work with AI and with all of these tools, what are we doing with that time? And progressing to analog a bit and thinking about what human level pieces, where do we want to ideate, create, connect, and really holding hand in hand the social part and the technical part of AI adoption.
Okay. Reema, I see you have a comment?
Actually, I will add what she said, that it's very important that AI can help people in their normal life. But what we do that people doesn't adapt the new technology in easy way. So that's why there is very important that we have to invest in ourselves and to have this kind of a click of learning, because we can learn about AI from self-learning as I did, and then I complete with PhD in something in AI. But what we really focus in the social impact for AI, it's how to make this life is easier. And when we look together with that, the World Economic Forum announced that 97 million jobs will be created for AI, but there will be nobody to work with AI with this kind of mindset. So we have to upskill ourselves in AI and to prepare this kind of generation with the adoption of AI technologies. Even we can find that there is a huge gap between our generation and the other generation, Z generation and others, and the ChatGPT generation. But what we can do that we can invest in ourselves, we can make more, to be honest with you, role model in AI and role model in the tech industry from female, and to empower women to engage more in the tech industry and to market on this kind of role model. Because what we see in the social media that there is role models in other fields. And that's why our kids and our youngest generation, that they are affected with this, and they said, I don't want to be a medicine, or I don't want to be an engineer. But when we focus that AI, it is included in engineering, and AI, it's included in the medicine, and now in the education. And we can see that a robot, it is can help the teacher inside the classroom to make their work. So what we focus more, that how we adopt this kind of technology, how to communicate with the stakeholders to make more regulations and ethics in AI, and to train people in AI to adopt this kind of technology in real life.
Okay, good. Maybe the last question on change management, and I would again address it to you, Reema. How can businesses, what do you think, stay ahead of the curve in adopting new AI technologies and methodologies?
Yeah, it's a great question to end with. So, because I see that our time is
I'm not sure if
out.
the clock is working right, but anyhow.
Yeah, but really, it's a great question. that we have this kind of collaboration with stakeholders regarding the regulation of AI and AI ethics. That's why we have this kind of high council. I'm a member of it, and as a high council, we have this kind of regulation for all the people and all the government to be part of this kind of regulation of AI and how to make it fairness and transparent for all the people. That's why we have this kind of investment in people and investing in the infrastructure as well, because AI needs a lot of infrastructure, a lot of money to invest with. When we do this and we can make this kind of conferences and we collaborate with people and we communicate and connect with these kind of people, this has helped us a lot to make an ecosystem with AI.
Okay. Additional thoughts?
Yeah, I think technology, and we need to learn that technology is not there to lead, but to enable. And I think maybe too much in the last 10, 15 years, we thought that by leading the technology, being the leader, we missed out. I'm not sure if you call your telco or your energy provider that you get a better customer service now with the use of technology. And there is where we need to flip the coin. Technology is there as an enabler. At the same time, and we call it also in the technology arbitrage, we will need to bring much more technology into play into our organization. We will not be able to connect to one technology perspective. The world is changing every day. I will use out-of-the-box AI to accelerate, and I will build on stuff to make a kind of unique representation. But like I said, it all starts from looking at it from a human science and a human-centric element going forward.
Okay. So maybe to wrap a bit up our round here, and we'll discuss if we have still some time for questions. But to close the session, may I ask everyone, maybe for one sentence, summary, what do you think is important to deliver business value through AI? Reema, maybe to start off.
For me, invest in yourself, to be honest. It is just 2 words, invest in yourself, and that's it. Very
good. Kevin?
Time, a great opportunity, great challenge. Let's embrace the challenge.
A socio-technical approach is key to AI adoption and business value. It's that joint optimization of people and technology.
4 statements. Take care about the people, innovate, build confidence, and do it for a good reason.
Very good. And from my perspective, maybe I hope this structure around this threefold structure, aligning on value and focus, delivering the delivery capabilities, change management. If you consider that, I hope this helps to increase the likelihood of success with AI implementations. So time-wise here, we are at the end. However, I initially thought we have 10 minutes more because we started later, so I would just look at...
Yeah, we have some questions.
We have some time for questions.
There's amazing straight over there.
Excellent. So then, maybe 2-3 questions.
I tell you what, Norbert, can we ask you to share
then
a
I don't
mic?
have... Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then we can share a mic, and then we'll be good. So thank you for your question. Just bear with you as the mic arrives.
Thank you. Thank you for all the impulses and the inspiration. I have a question, maybe a bit different of a question. Let's go into the future. Let's say 25 years. I know in terms of AI is a long time, so maybe it feels like 100 years right now because things will happen fast. But what do you think? What will be the corporate landscape in 25 years? Will we still have big players, or will it be like ecosystem of small players? Will it be a mix? How will the corporate landscape look like? Maybe Kevin, if you could start.
Let me tell you, we cannot look 25 years out. That's the first thing. And here's why. Because if we talk about the 25 years, we could be talking about AGI, okay? And none of us know right now what AGI will really mean. We hear about dystopian commentaries. We think about the positives of AGI. So typically, I say we should always have a long future look and view. Well, in this case, we have to literally kind of look year by year and create organizations that can flex and be agile enough to move literally year by year. Maybe sometime in that 25 years, we'll find our groove and we'll see a pattern. But right now, people are all over the map about what we're going to see in the next 25 years. let's focus on the year 2030. Some things there we can see are going to happen.
There are two books you might find interesting if you want to look 25 years ahead theoretically. There's AI 2040, I believe it's called, and then there's one by Dr. Christian Hugo Hoffman out of Zurich, and he speaks about how we view intelligence and how that's changing and how that might look in years ahead.
And as professors, you know what I say to them? They have no idea. I'm just saying.
Very true, very true.
I think we still have some time for additional questions. I see here.
Hi, I'm going to touch another topic that we haven't really touched this time, so I hope it's fine. I'm talking about, we talk about value for business. The first thing comes to my mind, especially for large companies, is business case, return on investment, in something that is going to change. I mean, you don't want even to say 5 years, 3 years, can look completely different. I've seen so many business cases approved and implemented. Probably all the ROI went down the toilet, probably because things have changed so much. What's the value of a business case now, or how do you build one? How do you calculate that ROI?
Great question. Maybe Greg?
I think we published also, we call it the game of value. More than ever, we need to find a business IT alignment. And let's also be honest, in whatever business cases that we have created, maybe we have done it too much from an IT perspective, or maybe we have done it too much from a business perspective. That's the reason why I strongly believe in the concept of the OKRs, the objective and the key results, which is a mechanic, which at least is a mechanic to bring, I would say, the business and the IT agenda much closer together. But you're right, in the study that we just have completed, I think in 70% of the business, or 78% of the business cases that currently are used for generative AI, one of the reasons that they have encompassed within it is the fact that the promise that more revenue will be generated by the enterprise. But I believe certainly in the concept of OKRs as one of the means to find that better alignment and also make more joint business cases instead of business cases on one side of the house.
Excellent. I see we here have another question, so that might be the quickest way here.
Thank you very much for this inspiring discussion. My name is Claire and I work at BIT. And we're based here in Amsterdam, and we are an AI and innovation studio. And Caitlin, my question addresses you. Could you maybe give us 3 starting points, small and easy, that we can use to win trust within larger companies for the implementation of AI?
Yeah, so within larger companies, the key is to start with the really eager adopters. So AI adopters always fall on a scale of anxious to ready. You start with that key adopters and you see, okay, what's going on there and how are they eager? How can we apply that? Then we look at the people on the other end of the scale and really leverage qualitative data and see what are their anxieties. And then you can meet in the middle and you can bring everyone up. And so that's a very important piece of this. And then from a big company perspective, it's also about within teams, going back to my points before about the socio-technical alignment, what are some of the goals and the workflow mechanisms within the team, and how can we leverage that with AI, and how can we also leverage that from a human perspective? So going on a team-by-team basis and then zooming out. What I mean by that is making sure systems are more conversant. One tactical thing you could do is, okay, the sales team, why don't you look at how from a human perspective, what are some goals that you want to have for business? From a technical perspective, how could AI help shape that? Have the marketing team do the same exercise and meet and have conversant systems. Because with hybrid and remote work, we don't talk as much as we should, and conversation is a huge, huge part of this. Another huge thing on behalf of large companies is your communication patterns. I cannot emphasize this enough. There's the concept of hypercommunication, first introduced by French sociologist Jean Baudrillard, but I wrote the Wikipedia page for it. It's the excess inbound and outbound communication precipitated by technology. And this plagues big companies. When you are having notifications come up during meetings and you're not listening and you're ping, 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 it makes AI adoption impossible. So looking at, from a larger scale, creating communication norms to avoid that notification culture, then working team by team, it's very important and ways that you can tactically help with this AI adoption.
What'd you say? I was looking at a message I got. What'd you say just a minute ago? Oh, whoops, sorry.
Okay, I think I need to wrap it up here.
I'm afraid it's a wrap. Yes.
Yeah. So first of all, thank you so much to the panelists. A very warm applause.